Hello and welcome to another episode of Third Act Solutions. So we've been talking about gratitude the last couple of weeks, and I was really going to go another way today, but I thought about what's going on in my universe, and I said, no, I've got to share what's going on, right? So I've always talked about never let your expectations get higher than your gratitude. We've also talked about, Alan submitted something about radical acceptance. You hear me talking about process, pivot, and proceed, meaning you got to deal with what's going on in your world and then pivot and then decide what it is you want to do and then proceed. So a year ago, a little over a year ago, when I looked at my life, I was depressed and my self-care was down. I was 280 pounds and I was kind of miserable inside, even though the world didn't see it, right? I made a decision that I was going to do something about it. I reconnected with my purpose. I was living in a failed purpose, and I reconnected with my purpose. And I decided that I was going to start working, decided that I was going to use my talent. And I started booking jobs, and I booked, and I booked, and I booked, and I worked on myself, and I worked on my nutrition, and I worked on my mental capacity, and worked on my appreciation, and I got on my knees, and I reconnected with God. And let me say right now, God is great. God is great. Because in this year and change, I have turned it around. I have worked steadily. I've made as much or more than I've made in my entire career. This week, as of yesterday, Beauty in Black is #1 in the world, or certainly in the United States. And 3 months ago, Divorce in the Black was #1 in the world on Amazon. So I've been in 2 #1s in the last 3 months on 2 different platforms. That's amazing. And that sits right at the heart of me making a decision, taking myself at hand, and doing something about my condition, because at the end of the day, I'm 100% responsible for what happens to me. No one else is responsible for what happens to me. I don't care what situation you're in. You're there because you got yourself there, and it's up to you to get yourself out. And that's the whole basis of Third Act Solutions, is the fact that you can turn anything around. It's a decision and it's action. You know what I mean? And it's, the Bible says faith without works is dead. I don't care how much you pray and what you're praying for. You got to get up off your knees and you got to get to work, and you got to create a plan for yourself, and you have to start actuating that plan on a day-to-day basis. And I'm telling you what I have rehabilitated in myself, besides my talent, besides my heart, besides my sense of purpose and reconnecting with that, besides my joy, my sense of, I've said happiness, but all of those things are real, and they have changed because I decided that this is the way that it was going to go. So I want you to take a look at your life. What can you change? What is important for you to change? That radical acceptance is meaning that you take a look and don't sit in anger, rage, resentment, and all of that. Turn that manure into fertilizer and let it grow something different. Water different plants. Just water the plants. You'd be surprised, because weeds take over when you don't water. Water the plants. Let your plants grow and change your condition so that you can create the life that you want. Okay? I just wanted to share that with you. I'm sitting in gratitude. I am grateful for myself, my mentors, grateful for God, grateful for my real friends, grateful.